Hello, hello, everyone. Kaneisha Grayson, founder and CEO of The Art of Applying, here with another amazing story of one of our fantastic, super successful clients. Today, we're speaking with Lauren. Lauren, hello. What are we celebrating today?
Hi, today we're celebrating multiple acceptances to different MBA programs, but probably the one I'm most excited about is Cornell's 2-year MBA.
Fantastic. So tell us about not just getting into Cornell, but your scholarship.
Yes, so Cornell, I got the Forte scholarship. That is $30,000 a year, so $60,000 total.
Fantastic. And do you feel comfortable telling us about your other acceptances?
Yes, I only applied to MBA programs that were focused in sustainability. So I also got into University of Vermont's Grossman School of Business, Barnard College's MBA and MS in Climate Science and Policy, and Duke Nicholas's School of the Environment.
Okay, fantastic. Have you decided on going to Cornell?
Yes, I haven't formally accepted because I'm planning on negotiating
Yes.
for a little bit more money.
And we will be there to help you. So that's what we should be working on now. Okay, good. Awesome. Congrats. Okay. So Lauren, tell us the stats that you're comfortable sharing about your applicant profile. So that would be like GPA, test scores, where you went to college, what you studied, any other sort of demographic factors that will help someone be like, oh, she's like me.
Sure. So I studied economics at Barnard College, which is part of Columbia, a small liberal arts school, though, and I had a GPA of 3.32, so not super high. That was something I was worried about might be a red flag to admissions officers, but some of the positives were that it did increase as I was in college slightly, but I did have 1 or 2 classes where I had a C, so I was worried about those, and one of them was in an economics quantitative course. And then my GMAT, I studied, had a private tutor, took it twice. And the first time I got 580, and then second time I got 600.
Okay.
And was thinking about taking it a third time, but was kind of waiting to see if I was going to get in anywhere with those scores. So that was also another part of my application I was a little self-conscious about.
Yeah. So Lauren, this is amazing. So it's considered a low GPA, right? 3.3. It's not anything to be embarrassed about, but like compared to the, type of schools that you applied to, that you got into, and then definitely that counts as a low GMAT. I had a 620, you have a 600, that's basically the same score. And then those two combined. And then another thing I kind of want to say is, like, as a white person, I would be concerned. I would be feeling like, oh, like I'm not even like underrepresented, although I do think women are still slightly underrepresented at most business schools. And I would be like, why would they even let me in? Like, what? And so I just want to say that, because to me, this is really a huge story of triumph. In several ways. Like, one, you having these areas that you were worried about, but like still forging ahead with the application process, reaching out to us for help, and persisting through the application process, not giving up. A lot of people with the 80 you said the first time, and then 600 the next time, would be like, forget it, but like you forged ahead. And so, yeah, I'm so happy for you. I am so proud of you. And so, Lauren, what was the application process like before you started working with The Art of Applying? What was difficult? What wasn't working?
So I reached out to you all pretty much at the beginning of the process, but it was difficult trying to figure out which schools to apply to and how to narrow down that list. So different criteria that was important to me. to have in a program, and then just over general feeling of being overwhelmed by the number of schools out there, number of applications I would have to complete. So I would say those are the two main issues that I
Yeah,
was facing.
absolutely. And do you remember how you found us? And if it was from searching, do you remember what you were looking for?
I believe that I was Google searching MBA advisor
Okay.
and found your name on one or several websites. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, I'm so glad you found us. And so you found us, you reached out, you had the 15-minute quick call, then you had the 90-minute breakthrough call. What was your experience like on the breakthrough call?
On the breakthrough call, I remembered talking with an advisor, and he was really helping me come up with at least a first draft, I believe, of the schools that I wanted to apply to, and what like my strengths were, kind of how to talk about my story or my experiences, certain ways to phrase my pivot into a new industry.
Yeah, it's to me, it sounds like you might be describing the game plan call, which is once you're already a client. I was
Oh, okay.
no worries, no worries. I want to make that clear because I don't want people to think that they're going to come on a breakthrough call and get all this free advice or something. The breakthrough call is the call that's like, you're not yet a client. They ask you a bunch of questions to get clear on if you're a fit. And it was so long ago, you may not even remember what it was like.
Yeah, I do remember. I took some notes. There was like a triangle.
Yeah,
Okay.
there is a triangle. Yes.
Okay. And then, so it was just talking about the different components of your application and how to set you up for success. So I remember that, and feeling like I had more clarity on the process, but still overwhelmed just by all the different aspects.
Yeah. So overwhelmed. And then at the end of the call, they're like, okay, Lauren, we do feel like we can help you. You are the type of person we can help. Here's the options for signing up. When they started to share the options for signing up and the different tuition levels for the program, were you nervous or scared to work with us? What doubts or concerns did you have?
I can't remember which call it was, probably the game plan call, when we decided that I needed to apply based on my GPA and my history, that I needed to apply to at least 11 schools.
So that actually happened on your breakthrough call because we have a little calculator. Yeah. So, okay, your number was 11. Wow.
Okay. So it was 11. So I feel like once I heard that, it seemed like too many to me, but that was like what you guys thought was a good number based on other people that you've helped. And so I felt like with that many applications, I needed to do the application accelerator, and definitely was pretty hesitant about the price because it is very expensive. But I was trying to think of it like the possibility of receiving scholarships would kind of counteract that. So that was my rationale to making that investment in
That's
myself.
right. Absolutely. Yeah. I love that, to making that investment in yourself. And even though it was a big investment, with your $30,000 a year scholarship to Cornell, you more than doubled your money. That's even before we negotiate for more.
Yes. And I just really wanted to do this process once. I didn't want to do it twice. So I wanted to do it right. And I felt like I was starting the whole process in May and hadn't taken any of the tests yet. And so I was feeling kind of nervous about the time frame. So that was another reason that I wanted to seek out help, was because I felt like it could expedite the process of applying.
Absolutely. And what was your favorite part about working with the Art of Applying team and your consultant?
I like all the resources. So I like some of the templates on Google Drive. And then I also like how available everyone is with responding to questions, how encouraging everyone is, including yourself, on Basecamp. And then, yeah, all the editing help was really awesome throughout the process. And yeah, all the feedback on my materials.
Yeah. And so I like hearing that. And that was a very thorough answer. So just for everybody who's listening or watching, Lauren's referring to, she mentioned like templates that we have on Google Drive. So we created a bunch of templates to help you streamline your application process, which is one of the sides of the triangle in the breakthrough call. So we've got email templates, and sometimes we'll even create a new one. So we created a new one based on a request you made. I don't actually, I think it was thanking your letter of recommendation writers. You had asked for that template. So we just made it. And that was great. So now that's in there thanks to your request. We also have templates for short resumes, long resumes, all kinds of templates. And then Lauren also said everyone is so responsive. So by that, she means we have people who are customer support type people, that support crew. You can message them on Basecamp if you're just like, where is that thing that I saw the other day that I want to use, just for like admin questions. But then you also have your one-on-one consultant. And then she said, everyone answering my questions. And by that, she means we have a Q&A vault where you can submit unlimited questions, as many as you want, and all the consultants can see your questions. So more than just your consultant can weigh in, like other consultants can weigh in on your question, which is great because some of our consultants just graduated like a year or two ago, and then other consultants have been on the team for 6 years and can weigh in with that experience. So yeah, I'm so glad that you really, took advantage of everything that we had to offer. And Lauren, you mentioned that you started working with us in May. You hadn't even taken the test yet. What would you say to someone who thinks that they need to first get a strong test score before they start working with us, or before they even work on the rest of the application?
I would say they definitely don't need to wait for that strong test score. I think just starting the application process, especially like all the essays, if you are applying to a big number of schools, that was, I would say, probably the most time consuming aspect. I studied a lot, but I feel like I was editing a lot more. And yeah, don't wait for that strong test score. Take it as soon as you can, but I wouldn't wait for that to start the whole process. And then also, if you're not doing well on one test, maybe try the other test. I kind of just went for the GMAT. And I feel like in retrospect, I wish I took a diagnostic for the GMAT and the GRE to see which one I liked better or did better at.
Okay, yes, thank you for that. And I completely agree with everything you said. For myself and my own application process, I too only took the GMAT. Well, back then, I think that was all the schools would take, but I wish I'd had the option to take other tests and to see which one I do better on, for sure. So yes, thank you for that. And what did you learn about yourself? And how did you grow as a result of going through this process with us?
Yeah, I would say the biggest takeaway for me was that even though on paper I started the process in May, I feel like I didn't get serious about the process until a lot later because I was procrastinating, which is something that I deal with. And like I'm sure a lot of people do, when you're really stressed out, that's usually when you start procrastinating. And it's not that you don't want to do it. It's just that the stress is overwhelming. So pushing it off feels better in the moment. So I would say that I've gotten a lot better about being organized, like managing different projects I have going on in my life, because when I was at Art of the Applying, there's a lot of to-dos and a lot of deadlines that you need to follow. So I would say I learned from maybe missing some of those deadlines and feeling stressed out in that process, even though I had that support. So I've gotten a lot better at that.
Yeah. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. And let's see. Actually, you already answered this question. I was going to say, what's next for you in your application process? But I think that is negotiating for additional financial aid. Excellent. And we will talk a little bit after the interview offline about what that looks like. And of course, you can talk to your consultant. We've got templates for it. You're all good on that. Now that you've been accepted into Cornell with a $60,000 total scholarship, 40% of tuition. What changes, improvements, or opportunities will this bring for your life and your career?
So many changes. I feel like getting an MBA will just open a lot of doors for me. And yeah, through this process, I also just was able to solidify my goals and what's important to me in a career, even though I'm sure that's subject to change once I enroll in school. But at least I have this framework of where I think I want to go, and can tweak that as I take different courses. And let me see. Yeah, I feel really relieved just that I've gotten into one of my top schools that I was really excited about, and excited for the process of going back to school. I've really missed being in school since I graduated about 9 years ago. And let me see what else. Yeah, I just feel like this is the beginning of my new career, because I am trying to pivot to a new industry and role. So I'm really excited to make those new connections through an MBA.
Beautiful, beautiful. So now I'm going to actually very quickly pull up your client intake form, because on that form, you mentioned the 4 people you were going to tell when you got into your schools, and now we were actually there. So those people, you said you're going to tell your partner, your mom, and your brother. What happened when you told them your great news?
They were all really excited. It was actually a pretty special moment, because I got a phone. The person who interviewed me called me and said I was accepted. I actually missed her call, so I listened to her voicemail, but I was listening to it with my brother while we were cleaning out because my dad passed away about 4 or 5 years ago. And so we were cleaning out his old stuff. So it was very emotional, and he was the one that really pushed me to go back to school and thought it was something really important for my career. And I was kind of putting it off. And so that was really special. And I called my partner. He was so excited to move to a new place with me. And same with my mom.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing that story, Lauren.
Yeah.
It sounds like you lost your dad and I lost my mom. It sounds like maybe around the same year, like 2018 or so. Yeah, that's super hard. And I'm sorry for both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a really special moment. Well, that is so beautiful. And thank you for sharing your story, Lauren. I'm so excited for you. Is there anything else you'd like to share? Anything you'd like to say, maybe to, the other Laurens watching this video who are just like, I went to a prestigious undergrad, my GPA might be on the lower side. Like, why are they going to accept me? My test score is not that high. Your story means a lot, Lauren, because I really think people can get into a story of I'm not going to why would they let me in? Right. Especially if the numbers aren't looking like what the numbers look like on the statistics that they're used to seeing. What would you say to the people who might need some encouragement?
Yeah, I would say to still apply. My consultant said to me, I don't know if this is true, but this is what he's kind of seen, I think, with some of his friends or clients, that the most prestigious universities can take more chances with their applicants, because they're not maybe as worried about the overall statistics of the class. So don't be scared to apply to those really prestigious programs. I also felt like through the process of applying through the consortium, I felt like I do need to spend more time uplifting underrepresented groups in the business world. So that's something I want to focus on more, because that's a problem that you need to confront when you're at these really prestigious universities. And yeah, I would just say solidify your story and make that investment in yourself. And I don't think you can go wrong.
Beautiful. Thank you, Lauren.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Are you ready to take your application process to the next level? The Art of Applying helps you get into the graduate school of your dreams and get money to pay for it. Book a free quick call from the link in the description to get started. And subscribe to our channel for more application tips and success stories.